Hey there, Captain Kitties. I am the Blues Man, Johnny Blues, and today I want to talk about a film that is easily within my top 10 favorite movies of all time. And it's actually kind of a personal wonder how it took me this long to actually do a Wicked Flicks about it. That is the 1951 musical comedy classic, Singin' in the Rain, starring, of course, Gene Kelly, Donald O'Connor, and Debbie Reynolds, also featuring great performances from Gene Hagen, Millard Mitchell, and the just delectably gorgeous Sid Charisse in an emerald gown in about the midsection of this film. Just stunning. But this movie is absolutely a favorite of mine. I mean, it's probably one of, if not the most visually stunning films, classic films in any case, full-on Technicolor that I've ever seen. And the subject matter is right up my alley. Being a movie buff and, being a history buff as well in the history of filmmaking and everything, the whole plot of this movie is absolutely astounding and intriguing, and that is essentially taking place in the late 20s, early 30s. It's dealing with silent pictures basically going the way of the dodo, and the talkies, talking pictures and everything like that. Sound was being newly introduced. With the jazz singer, as is the focus of this film, everything is being turned on its ear in Hollywood. And we're basically following around Gene Kelly's character, Donald Lockwood, who with his buddy, as portrayed by Donald O'Connor, they have very sort of poor upbringing and everything like that. They started out in vaudeville and doing musical comedy acts, and they decide to try to make it or break it in California. Well, they end up, basically working for a studio, but doing sort of lowbrow music scoring for pictures, and they end up on a Western set where essentially Lockwood sees that the stunt guy that they have hired to basically do a back roll over a bar or what have you can't quite do it the way the director wants. So he ends up stepping up and saying, you know what, I could probably do that much better. He's limber, he can dance and that kind of thing. So they decide to give him a try. And this starts his level of success in Hollywood. He ends up being the guy most renowned who can do pretty much anything and would be willing to do most anything stunt-wise on pictures. Eventually has such a successful career doing that the studio exec, I believe that's Millard Mitchell's character, says, we're going to actually put your face on camera. How'd you like to be a headlining guy? And he basically gets sidled with Gene Hagen's character, who's this very crass, self-involved sort of starlet. And so they make silent pictures together, and they become Hollywood heartthrobs overnight. They're on splash pages of magazines and that kind of thing. And when the talkie thing starts happening, they really have to sort of shut everything down and try to reconfigure what they're going to do, how they're going to make their next play. Otherwise, this studio is going to go out of business. Now, enter Debbie Reynolds' character, who basically stumbles across Lockwood accidentally where he's being chased on a sidewalk by all these roving fangirls. They're tearing at his suit and everything, and she thinks he's the self-involved type, so she kind of snubs him, but they run into each other later on. She's kind of making the grade as well as a bottomed-out showgirl doing dances at Hollywood parties. They run into each other again, and he confesses he's in love with her, love at first sight. So you have a love story going on, coinciding with this sort of mutual between Lockwood, his buddy, and the studio head. How are we going to make our next project a talkie? How are we going to rise to that challenge? And there's this beautiful dream sequence that happens throughout the middle of the film where they're describing a brand new idea that comes to them in the wee hours of the morning, and it's just a creative, fun, comedy-licious, musical-licious classic, completely deliciously gorgeous, every scene in this film, and it leaves me smiling every time I think of it. I get the songs stuck in my head. The soundtrack I actually owned on cassette tape, and when this DVD came out, this is stunning because it's a complete digital remaster, 2002, I believe, and there are just tons and tons of extra features, special features, what have you, and it's just a phenomenal, phenomenal classic. Another movie that's actually more modern, that's very much in that vein, is for me, The Artist. But of course, that's a Wicked Flicks for another time. So yeah, I cannot more highly recommend Singin' in the Rain. This movie is just an absolute classic. It's one of my favorite movies of all time, and I would dare to say it may even be in my top 5 films of all time, rather than just top 10. And yeah, I really can't say enough good things about it. I can't highly recommend this film enough if you haven't seen it. So yeah, otherwise, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. If you've ever seen Singin' in the Rain, how you rate it as far as whether you love it, whether you hate it, whether you want to check it out if you haven't seen it. And yeah, otherwise, I hope this video finds you well. I'll catch you all later. Peace.